expensive. It's a little 6R Romeo red dot, worked pretty good. Got flip up sights. I'm just gonna do a real quick field strip clean. Let's get some of the crud off of it. Okay. All right, this is just a Pimento State Army AR-15, 5.56 millimeter, semi-automatic. Similar, when I was at the Marine Corps, we had the M16 A2s. Of course, those were fully automatic and a little different style. These were kind of basic. I have the flip up mag pull iron sights just for backup. And I have a 6R Romeo 5, I believe it is, red dot. They work pretty good. I'm still getting used to it. I've never used one before, but it's pretty nice, pretty quick to acquire a target once you get used to it. It's quicker than the iron sights. It's got all the basic stuff, the mag pull, your Picatinny rails, things like that. I'm gonna do a basic cleaning, just a little basic field strip today. Break it down to the basic parts. Just gonna break it down to the basic parts like we did. I can remember how to do this from being in the Marines back in the 70s. I think they're pretty close, pretty similar. Shouldn't have changed too much. There's the buttstock, foreign part. Pull out the charging handle and the bolt. That's the main thing. You can see the gas tube. I think it's got the 13.5 gas tube. You never has been very much to do on those. I'll just do a quick bore clean. Clean all this out. Clean the inside of this out and wipe down everything. So I might strip down the bolt a little bit more and clean it, and it should be okay. Probably have it shot, but maybe, I doubt we shot much more, between 100 and 200 rounds in it. Just haven't had time to do much, or we were shooting other rifles and stuff also. Cleaning kit, the rods and everything. I need it bright, but I don't want to mess it up. What I'm using today is the old stuff, the good old Hops number 9 bore cleaner from back. I always use this in the old days. Also have some of this. This is what's popular nowadays. It's called a CLP, Clean, Lubricate, and Protect, all-in-one spray. I've never used one before, but I'll try it out. Be kind of handy. I need Kaylee helping me so she can learn. I told her I was going to make her help me anyways. Uh-oh. I didn't have it screwed in good. That should do it. That looks pretty good to me. I say we haven't shot this thing very much. You see how this thing comes apart. Back in the early days, all we ever used was one bullet and took the whole rifle apart with it. I just don't have one handy. This should be the cotter key that holds the firing pin in. There's the firing pin. Got a little bit of crud on it, you know. Then the bolt head should twist out. Well, maybe they don't on these new ones. I guess they don't on the semi-automatics. In the old days, the old ones would just slide right out. This whole assembly would come out. But it looks like I would have to do a little more taking things apart. I better read up on that before I mess with all that stuff. So I'm not going to do that. I am just going to clean this quickly. I don't think it's really that dirty anyways.
Hoy es cumpleaños de Mr. Roland. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
These things don't like to run dry.
El viernes fuimos a tirar, a practicar. Y hoy por eso está limpiando las armas.
Of course, when I was in the Marines, if we'd have just done something as lackadaisical as this, kind of half-assed, I don't even know how much of screaming that had done at us.
Es un retirado veterano de la Marina.
But we'd have been scrubbing these things like it was seemed like all we did was clean those rifles more than we shot them. Got a lot of crap on it from the oil, I think, mostly. A little gunpowder residue. I don't even remember what that old crud was they used when I was in the Marines to clean it. And we had some old thick white oil, but we could only put one drop on it. We put it back together, we could put one drop of oil here, maybe one drop on the bolt carrier, and that was about it. And if they caught you putting more oil on there, boy, you was going to be in a lot of trouble, because it was the theory back then, from the problems they had with them in the early days in Vietnam, before they had the bolt assist on it, was jamming. So they thought if there was too much oil on it, the rifle would be more prone to collect dust and crud and jam. So they didn't want a whole lot of oil on them. Just clean it good. A basic shot of oil, and that ought to do it. On the other hand, you can't let these things run dry. As I recall, we would put one drop of oil in this hole when we reassembled it, and that would lubricate everything else inside. And then, of course, the Q-tip. When your gas tube goes back in here, it's always going to be a little bit dirty. There we go. Got that out. Yeah. So you could use old rags, a basic cleaning kit, and pipe stem cleaners. That's about all we were allowed to use to clean with. I have to read up on how to take all this apart. I don't know how to do it. This is a multi-use type of a thing. The CLP stands for Clean, Lubricate, Protect. You know, in the old days, we used the bore cleaner, and we used that. They would run patches and everything through it to clean it, and then we used a separate kinds of oil, real light machine oil to lubricate the bolts. The military had this thick white stuff, and like I was saying earlier, we put one drop here and maybe one drop here when we were finished cleaning it. This is the first time I've used this, but I'm going to give this a shot and see how it does. Get a little more crud off. We had to take these off and make sure this thing was in there loose so that it wouldn't come back and, they told us they'd run it all the way through your shoulder or something like that. I don't know if that was true or not. But that's about all there is to do with it. Wipe it off. There's really nothing inside of here to the It looks neat to take it all out though. And that's that. See, this is how this all works.
El resorte.
See how this is what happens when you fire the rifle. It comes back into here, and then all this down here, it cocks the hammer again because it rides like this, and then it cocks the hammer, comes here, a bullet is coming up here through the magazine, another one it's pushed up by the spring, the bolt rides forward, puts another bullet into the magazine, and that's a simplified in there, rub it around. Shouldn't be too dirty around the trigger assembly. Ooh, look. Kind of dirty. That's from just the bore cleaner.
Wow. Sí salió sucio.
Here, and make sure that the bolt is seated all the way up forward so that the rifle will fire, is what that's for. Had a lot of people get killed over that one. Well, it goes this way actually. Levers in there and it will hit these things and make sure the bolt is seated on a cartridge. That's what that is. And pull the bolt back so that it chambers a cartridge in the magazine. That slides back in like this. That's how you bring it out. And then we would have just that little one drop of oil on it, more than a drop. You want a certain amount, a little bit of lubrication in here. These ARs don't like to run dry. So you got to walk a balance between too much oil to collect dust and crud if you're really a heavy day out shooting. The sign, that was a pretty basic cleaning. And that's it. We should be ready to go next week.
Wow.
That's it.
Listo.
Ready to go. Next.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. 30 round Magpul 30 round magazines. I'm not going to take them apart because I have them loaded. I don't feel like fooling with it. Pretty simple. Model 92F, Italian made 9mm. It's what the military used. It's what got so popular back in the, I think the military used this model for about 20 some odd years. I haven't cleaned this one in a long time, so I'm going to break this down. There we go. That's what the spring was in there. It's going to cut it down to its basic parts. The barrel. I haven't taken this thing apart in years. There we go. There's the top bolt, doesn't have a top piece. That was unusual at the time. This is what rides. This is how the barrel, the slide and everything moves on the barrel itself when it returns it. We haven't shot it much. This is the part of the firing mechanism. It ejects, the bolt ejection system. Ring that carries everything back and forth. Here's your basic, just your lower end, just the trigger. It's real light. You can feel it's very, very light. It's all taken apart. Not too much. We didn't shoot it very much the other day. Doesn't really need much. Pretty clean, actually. Remember, get it lined up. There we go. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Real easy. Real simple pistol to fool with.
No sé si él les ha mencionado, pero pues obviamente todos sabemos que es muy importante antes de limpiar las armas quitarle las balas, el cartucho, por seguridad, porque ya han pasado accidentes.
There. That was correct. This pin holds it all together. I didn't flip it. Where's that other magazine? There it is. Oh, that's the little one. This one. Magazine seems to be in good shape, clean. Haven't had any bullets in it in a long time. Yeah. Done. M&P. And it too is a 9mm. Usually what I keep in my truck just because it's small. It's a small carry pistol. Shoots pretty good though. Shoots good. I'm not sure how to take it apart. I've never done it. I don't think I'm going to fool with this. There's a trick to taking this one apart. Something about pushing down this little rod in there while I'm pushing back on the slide. And I'm not real sure what to do. And I don't want to just give it a quick wipe down. I haven't shot it very much. I don't think I've shot 2 boxes of shells through it. So it's not in too bad a shape. Pretty clean, not oily. I don't think I'm gonna mess with it. Leave it alone. Okay,
¿Listo?
Listo.
Ok.
That's 3 of them. I got what? The 22s left to do. The pistol and the rifle. Well, thank you for watching the videos. I hope it's helped or given you a little insight of what we do around the house here. And thanks for watching and have a good day. We'll see you next time.